All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining this webinar dedicated to our partners for cardiolog analytics for SharePoint. We're going to wait an extra couple of minutes just to let people join, as I see that people are still coming. So I will be in mute for the next 2 minutes and then we will start. Great, I see that new people just joined. So welcome everyone. This is Arthur from Cardiolog Analytics. So I'm here, EMEA Channel Manager. And the goal of this session will be to introduce you to our different partner programs and of course to our solution. So quickly, just some housekeeping before starting. This session is actually being recorded, so we will share with you the recording after the session once it will have been processed. And we can also connect with us on Twitter at Cardiolog. On the GoToWebinar panel, you have questions that you can write down. So I will of course save some time toward the end of this webinar to answer some of those questions. Maybe we won't have time to cover all the questions, but still they will be taken in consideration, and I will make sure that you get individual answers to your different questions. As an agenda for today, of course, we'll go over a quick introduction of Cardiolog Analytics developed by Intlock. Then we have a few words about native analytics provided especially with the new Office 365 adoption content pack, because I'm sure you guys have some questions around it. Then we will go around the partner program after, and we will finish with a product tour of our solution. And as I said, we will save some time for questions and answers. So for most of you, maybe you are already a bit aware of who we are, but just to refresh a bit some of our memories, here at Intlock, we developed over 12 years ago Cardiolog Analytics. It's a solution that has been developed from the very beginning for SharePoint, and it works with any SharePoint versions, either on-premises 2010, 13, 16, or online, and Office 365 as well. We also developed our solution for Yammer to track the activity on this social network. Two things that I wanted to start with. It's the new Office 365 adoption content pack, because maybe some of you guys are also wondering yourself why going for a specific solution when Microsoft is providing you with some analytics. So I wanted to go over a few things here, and I will start with how Microsoft presented this new adoption content pack. Basically, it gives you a cross-product view of how users communicate and collaborate. True, but it's designed, and this is not my words, to help IT admins to provide more targeted user communications. So the idea is you can get out of this adoption package ideas around adoption, collaboration, and storage on your Office 365 tenant, but there are of course limitations. And of course here at Cardiolog, the solution is developed in order to provide you with way deeper information, and especially when you are looking at the adoption content pack main limitations, we can see quickly that it won't be enough in order to drive the portal adoption and to make sure that the users and the content fully engage on your portals. And this is where you guys as partners can deliver way more attraction for your customers, to provide them with additional services and to help them to drive the overall portal productivity and of course the adoptions. So if we look at some of these limitations, for example, one that is very important is the limitation in terms of a user-specific activity that is limited to the last month. Once with Cardiolog, you can go over a longer period, like 2 years, which helps you, of course, to identify trends and make sure that that you understand your customer portal and can drive them with your precious consulting services. Of course, it also brings limitation, especially on SharePoint team sites and group sites. So with Cardiolog, we provide with you a way wider analytics package, so you can see the full picture and not only an abstract of it. So that's it for the adoption package. Just a quick introduction, and I will start right away with the explaining to you how exactly Cardiolog works. Has a large high level overview, of course, but to tell you why we can provide you with way more information, whether you're using Office 365 or on-premises version of SharePoint. At SharePoint, we developed our own tracking technology. So it's a JavaScript tracking mechanism, which is done through a WSP solution. It's a site collection solution, basically, that helps us to see any level of the portal. And we also retrieve the SharePoint tree structure using a SharePoint application to be able to navigate through the portal tree structure and target specific content or a group of content from the overall portal to a single page or a single document. The data is then processed within the Cardiolog secret sauce. With our new SaaS offering, all the data processing and the data itself is stored on Microsoft Azure, so in compliance with all the privacy and data security laws. The idea is to move on then to the data visualization, and as Microsoft partners, our SaaS solution is delivered using the Power BI interface, which, as you already know, is way more flexible. We have to also admit it, very beautiful and very pleasant to work with. And this is how it works. As you heard from the very beginning, we also track the activity on Yammer. For Yammer, we use a different tracking mechanism. For that, we use Yammer API, and of course, the idea is to be able to combine Yammer and SharePoint. It can be different SharePoint environment together to have an overall view on adoption on your portals. There are many services that you can provide to your customers with Cardiolog Analytics to measure the portal success, maybe the portal that you brought yourself within the company, and now you have to deliver new services to make sure that everyone is adopting it. So the overall idea working with partners like you guys is to be able to enhance the services that you are providing by identifying weak points on the portal, but also good points to make sure that you can deliver and being a trust advisor on the portal, either in terms of pre-migration, when you need to understand what should be moved to the new environment, to maintain an healthy portal and starting back from a healthy environment, or just to manage the overall adoption to again increase this adoption through the portal for your customers. And actually, Cardiolog Analytics is based on a simple equation. In order to enhance a portal, to optimize the portal for your customers, and also to show them the return on investment on their portal, there is 2 steps. First, obviously, will be the monitoring phase, where you need to understand and have a deep view on what's going on those portals, based on usage report, both from the user and the content perspective. But there is something that is very important as well, is to be able to engage with the end users. You can spend days, weeks, months, and even years creating reports, but at some point to drive adoption, what is important is also to understand the users. And if you can go desk by desk within a company that has 50 users, it tends to be quite more difficult when you have to speak with thousands of users. Based on your hourly rate, it may be of interest, but it's not very productive. So that's why we also develop a solution from the very beginning of our existence for the people who knew us through the on-premise version of Cardiolog Analytics. I'm referring here to the message boards and the surveys. So I will take the opportunity of today's webinar to show you the new way we engage with our customers. It's called Cardiolog Engage, and I'm sure you will like it. As we are working closely with partners, we develop 2 channel programs here at Intlog. First, there is the traditional business partners. You guys are working with great customers. You are always looking for the best solution to assist them. And for that, we are here to help and happy to assist to work with you on your customers, but also with our customers, either existing customers, people that need additional consultancy services or have new plans on migrating, and we are always happy to work with our local partners and also to make some noise about these partnerships. And we also have our other program, which is called Managed Services. The Partner Managed Services programs in fact enables you as a partner to host Cardiolog Analytics for your customers to provide them with dedicated Office 365 reporting and analytics services. So the idea is for you is just to be a hub for analytics, plug different customers within your Cardiolog installation, and to provide them with the report and of course your advices on how to improve portal adoption and user engagement. I think this is it for the quick presentation. Of course, we are also happy to engage on individual levels on these subjects. We will be launching soon a new partner portal on our website where you will get also more information on how we can work together. And of course, I'm here also to answer any questions that you might have on this specific subject. So starting from now, we will gonna move towards the actual presentation, just a quick product overview of our SaaS offering based on Power BI. After that, we will quickly jump into the Cardiolog new Engage tool for you also to see how it can complete the offer with Cardiolog Analytics. So I'm just going to refresh my screen. It's going to take just a second. And here we go. You should see now on your screens Cardiolog within Power BI. And so as we have since a quite long experience now in the fields of analytics, over 12 years, in this SaaS approach of Cardiolog Analytics, we decided also to capitalize on this experience and to make your customer life easier. That's why we developed pre-canned reports. We have a set of around 13 or 16 reports. It's always being increased with new reports to assist you from the very beginning to concentrate on specific areas of the portal like adoption, searches, content, unused content, and so on, to make your life easier. But of course, you can still create your own reports for your customers or assist them to create their own report from scratch. Looking at this initial first report called Usage Overview, which is basically giving you an overall view on your portal activity, just showing you that what is very specific also to Cardiolog is we retrieve the portal tree structure. So here on the left side of my screen where my mouse is, you can see the overall portal tree structure. So in this scenario, we have two different SharePoint version, one 2013, so on-prem, and one SharePoint Online. So this kind of hybrid environment that are coming more and more often right now. And this SharePoint tree structure enables you to select either the overall portal, so if you want to check everything that is going on your different SharePoints, or only on a specific one like 2013 or Online, or even a specific document that is sitting on your SharePoint Online. And of course, the dashboard is fully interactive with the ability to drill down into the different data. On the right side, you have also the here the time frame where you can select a specific period of time where you would like to analyze your portal. So let's move on to check what's going on this in this scenario. So we can see here to start with the content usage with like page views, number of users, and the average time on page. This part helps you to understand quickly what's going on and on your different tenants and see if there are issues or different trends within the adoption. So for example, the page views for the two SharePoint, so the SharePoint 2013 and Online. So here quickly we can identify that the SharePoint 2013 is way more used than the SharePoint Online. And of course you can drill down into this activity and see, for example, just below the top popular pages on your portals. Of course you can change the sort order. So instead of identifying the most popular, identifying the least popular pages in order to make sure that if there are strategic content or pages, you can make sure that people will check them more often, maybe by putting a home button to this specific page on your home page, and like this people will find it way quicker. Just to show you also before moving on, the drill down ability, for example, if we look at the number of page views or the number of users, here you can right-click, for example, on page views and drill down into the activity to understand which pages are being viewed for this specific SharePoint tenant. Next one, and it's a very important, as you can imagine, a part of this report, the adoption one. So integrating with the SharePoint profiles, groups, using the Active Directory, we can also, and I think as excuse me, as partner, this is a very important part because you can identify quickly which groups within the organization should be your focus for the different training budget that is allocated. So you can identify quickly which group is using correctly the tool or not enough, so you can dedicate this training effort. Some of our customers, and it can be also a good idea for you guys, are using adoption for gamification purposes and to create friendly competition among users and groups, so you can force people somehow to play around their portal and to discover it in a more nicer way. Of course, here we can see that the different groups within the organization with the different number of active users and so on, you can, and I will show it to you quickly, have a view on the different users. So if I move on to another report, it's called visitor adoption, active and inactive users. Here you have the map of your different user, either they are active or inactive, and you can of course identify the different trends. This is very interesting because of course if you select specific groups like R&D, you will see among this group on the right side the visits by usernames and identify people that have a very low adoption level. So basically here we have a lot of users without activity. So here again, idea is to target these specific people, either to find evangelists, like for example Ariette, which is our top user, with Lucinda, to speak with let's say Hazel and Henrietta to understand why they are not using and how they can help them to work with your SharePoint or Office 365. Some of you on the line may, especially thinking about our German partners, have very strict privacy laws, so maybe they are concerned about showing names like this because it's forbidden. Don't worry, we developed a PI concealment tool. So the idea is to keep the group's names, of course, but instead of showing the list of the different users with their information, there will be random numbers. So it's still compliant with the privacy laws, and it enables to drive the adoption through groups and not at a user level if it's a concern within your organization. Moving on quickly to the next report, and of course we will not go over everything. As you may have noticed on the first report, the user usage overview, we have also dedicated a widget to searches. Searches are a very important topic within portals because this is from searches that can raise the lack of adoption. Maybe people get frustrated because they are not finding the information they need to work on within the portal. So it's also not pushing them to use more the portal. With searches, here we are also trying to optimize this search activity within the portal, so it helps you, for example, to identify which are the more popular search phrases, like here benefits or business data, and you can identify what is the ratio between successful and failed searches. The way we define successful or failed searches is very easy. A successful search will be when people are searching for example, for benefits, and automatically they will find a result that fit their needs, so they will click on the one of the submitted results. When it's failed, it means that the search was not followed by the click on a given result. And for that, as it's a very important part, again, we dedicated a specific report called Search Optimization. This is here in the usability category, so I'm just opening it right now, and the idea is to really understand from the beginning where people are looking and what type of information. So there is many benefits for you as partners when you have this kind of reports, and that you can share with your customers or help them to understand the trends in searches and where they can improve the portal, either to use like these word clouds that show you the different names or phrases that people have been looking for, and to make sure that they understand what is important for the users, so also they can make sure that this information, like holidays, since it just went over, I'm guessing a lot of people are already checking their calendars to see when will be the next bank holiday, for example. and make sure, for example, on the first or second page of the portal, there will be a link that will lead them to this information. If we look just quickly deeper into this benefits word that have been looked for many times, over 1,300 times, let's click on it to see what it really means. Here, let's look at the data. Here we can see, for example, just below that benefits, as I just told you, was searched almost 1,300 times by almost 700 users. So obviously people look at least twice for it, but there is only 113 times where people find the information they were looking at. So clearly people are not finding the information when they type benefits. So here it's an important question, what it is that they are looking and how we can help them to find it. As consultants and partners, you can help your customer identifying this growing pain, obviously, to make sure that people are finding this information. I'm gonna show you quick other reports that are, of course, we don't have time to go over everything here, but let's look at something that can be interesting for you guys as consultant, experienced consultant. So here, for example, as I mentioned, Yammer at the beginning of this discussion. Integrating with Yammer, you can also here identify the trends within the Yammer at the level of the different user groups or even the content, the discussion, the messages. So definitely to track and to make sure that everyone is adopting it, and you can continue with the deployment of Yammer to other groups, for example. We dedicated also many reports to the portal resources. For example, the activity distribution that is just below that show you it helps you to identify quickly when is the peak hours or the different days where people are using a lot of consuming a lot of pages within the portal. So maybe when you need to make sure that the technical team will be available, or when you can do some maintenance on the portal when it won't impact the productivity. You can also identify the geolocalization of your different users. And when I'm showing this to you, of course, here there are pre-canned reports. When you create your report from scratch using Power BI, you can have your own filters, your own widgets, your own funnels, for example, if you want to understand the navigation and drive goals within the portal. This is part of Cardiolog, so you can either when you distribute to your customers this report, you can also white label them and show them your experience with the portal attached with your advices. Great. I think this is it for the moment. I don't want to spend too much time on the Cardiolog different reports. As you can see down the page, there are a lot of reports that are also available. Of course, we're happy to, if needed, to go over them one by one at the individual level. But what I wanted to show you today, as part of this global Cardiolog analytics offering, is the new Cardiolog Engage. Engage, as I just told you before, is here to assist you with the unique ability to engage with the end users. Looking at this report, we need to understand why people are looking for benefits, for example. What does it mean? What kind of result they are expecting? Or another phrase word, why is it the good information that they found when they click on given result, and so on. There are many examples of how you can have action items on engaging, and this is actually this is the main reason. It's a new way of communicating with user based on the data that is captured by Cardiolog itself, and this is here to use also the data and the SharePoint segments, users, groups, or even activity when people went on a specific page or didn't go on a specific page for a given amount of time, so that it enables you to identify quickly who you want to speak to. For that, we developed many ways to communicate, such as surveys to get answers and to analyze answers. As we had pre-canned reports, here we have also pre-canned campaigns. The idea is really to make the life easier for you guys or your customers when you are presenting the solution, and to make sure that they understand that the learning curve of these solutions will be very short and as short as possible. Because if tracking the adoption means adopting first a tool spending months, it's not going to go anywhere. So here we try to make your life and your customer life easier to make sure that we are here to help and we are not just hiding difficulties. So here the engage way to work is very easy. You can use different campaigns, goals like understanding people need if they are finding the information, push people to complete a specific goal, to visit a new site. Let's say, for example, you identify through Cardiolog that your customers are not using a specific site, and as the consultant, you have to trigger a workflow to remove this page or site when it's not being accessed by a given number of people through a month. Maybe you want to make sure that people are completely aware that this site exists on this page before you move it. So to have kind of a last attempt to engage with people. So let's say we want to notify people about a change on a specific page. So I'm going to select this one. Here, I'm going to also be able to identify quickly my audience. Who people should I talk to? Which people should I talk to? Sorry. The new guys on the portal, the people that I haven't been going on this specific page for a specific amount of time, or people that just reach this page for the first time after 2 months. So you can create also your own groups based on segments collected through Cardiolog or without Cardiolog itself, and just create your own segments on the fly. You choose your page, then your channel, sorry. You can select different way to communicate with the users. It can be text message, desktop notification, emails, or in-app messages. In-app messages is the best way to make sure they will be listening to you or seeing what you are trying to set them, because it will just pop up. You have different designs. So let's take this example of this in-app messages. Here we wanted to use it for many things. It can be to just inform people, so there is no need for an action. But it can be also to collect feedbacks and their user experience. So for example, you can have RSVP or surveys, for example. So if we are looking at multiple choice or to open questions, what is your feeling about the new site that you just visited? Is it fine? Do you meet the content that you were looking for visiting it, or is there anything missing? Or for example, multiple choice questions like survey styles. Sorry for that. Are you finding the information yes or no? And so on. So there is so many possibilities for you to communicate. It can be related to adoption and engagement or not. It can be to just an RSVP for a goodbye party, whatever. The idea is really to be able to have an easy way to communicate with your end users and trigger these messages. You can trigger these messages whenever you want. It can be immediately to schedule it, or to trigger it according to specific groups of people. You want to trigger it for the New York office at 12 p.m. and the same time in the Madrid office, for example. You will be able to do it, and then of course comes with these campaigns the summary. So just to wrap up before allowing some time for question and answers, as I see that there is already questions. Cardiolog, with this SaaS version of Cardiolog Analytics and Cardiolog Engage, provides you and our partner networks with new ways to tackle adoption on your portals. We want to make sure that it's going to be easy to use. So for that we create pre-can reports. And this Cardiolog engagement tool is here also to make your life easier, to make sure that what is very important also, the user feedbacks. People who are daily using SharePoint or Office 365 are finding what is important for them. They are comfortable using it or not, and so on. So the idea is giving you tools with actionable metrics that you can use to provide more services to your customers, more services to redesign a portal, by understanding, for example, the navigation path of the end users. Many actionable items that will help you to analyze and describe situation with actual data, complete data that you can drill into until the user level, to make sure that you're not just sharing ideas or trends, but your consultancy services are based on numbers, accurate numbers that will help you to have data-driven actions. So thank you very much for your time today. I see that we have a few questions. Of course, for the people who join during the call, you can also use the question panel if you have questions. I'm gonna, of course, as I see, there are kind of few answers. I will try to collect the few of those and answer them on the spot right now. And for the other people that don't have time to answer, I will make sure to answer personally by emails. And of course, if you have new questions after this webinar, feel free to send me an email. I will be happy to answer your questions. So just to make sure everyone has my email before asking the questions, I will put back the page with my email address. So feel free to use it. First question, let's see, it's coming from Michael. So thank you, Michael, for your question. The question is, can I install Cardiolog SaaS on my own cloud environment? So I'm positive, Michael. So yes, especially with our partner managed service offering, it enables you to install Cardiolog SaaS on your own cloud and deliver reports to your customers. So just to clarify with this partner managed services, the idea is not to give access to the end users to the Cardiolog environment and for them to create their dashboard, but it's you as a partner that are able to connect different SharePoint environment, can be from customer A, customer B, and so on, all together, and to create reports for each of your customers and deliver them with those reports, and of course, action items. Next question is from Alessandra. Hi, Alessandra, thank you. Can customers subscribe to Cardiolog SaaS without Engage? Yes, it's also positive on this one. The two products should be seen as a standalone product, so you can have only Cardiolog Analytics as a customer, or only Engage, and the one without the other. Of course, ideally will be to use the two tools together to drive the portal adoption and engagement, but you can also buy it differently. I see we have a last minute, so maybe I'm going to take the question from Francis. I use in the past Cardiolog on premises. Is Engage a replacement of message boards and surveys? Yes, so definitely, as I said earlier, this is the Cardiolog Engage tool is obviously based on our experience. For those one like Francis that used in the past or saw in the past Cardiolog on-premise, we had natively message bars that would appear on the top of the page to submit actions to the end users or to inform them, and surveys that would appear on the pages, and this will be done through the through the portal itself. So definitely here it's based on our experience, but we try to enhance it to make it even better in a way to active in a way that the users will be more prompt to take action against on this different information that will pop up or be on their mobile and emails. Thank you everyone for joining. I think we are going out of time. So of course I see that there is still other questions that needs to be answered. So I will answer them by email. Again, feel free to send me emails if you have additional questions. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Feel free to contact me, of course. For those who will be attending Ignite this month in Orlando, we'll be at booth 1121. So feel free, of course, to join. We'll be happy to meet with you guys and to discuss. We'll also be attending the ESPC in Dublin in November. So again, this one will be a great opportunity to meet face-to-face. So keep it in mind and come visit us, or we can set up meetings before if you want more privacy than the conference hall. So definitely will be a great time. We are only on Thursday, but I will take this opportunity to wish you all a very good end of the week and a very nice weekend. As I said, the recording of the webinar shall be sent as soon as it will be ready, so in the upcoming days. Enjoy your day, and hopefully we'll talk again very soon. Bye everyone. Thank you.